Greetings and good morning, beautiful people of Earth. Oh, guess what? I'm doing it again. I must do it again. Oops, this camera's kind of trying to get this balanced. Hopefully it doesn't fall. Maybe. There we go. Maybe. So, doing a juice fast again. It is much needed. I have not finished the cleanse. My body needs the ultimate cleanse. And I made it to day 60, broken up into two 30-day juice fasts with a bit of I think it was like a 4 or 5 day break in between. But it wasn't enough. By the time I finished, I still had worms coming out. And we are talking about the stinkiest, death, foul smelling stuff you could ever imagine. And I've documented everything. I've got all my poo files. I've got my diary files of how I was feeling that day. And so I can backtrack and see when the worms started happening. Usually when at least myself, when I started juice fast, when I started, it's usually, oh my gosh, I can see what's going to happen here. Usually when I start a juice fast, I think it's like around day 4 or 5 that I start, the poo changes, the bowel movements change. So they go from being typically normal looking, the fresh stuff, and then they switch into the nasty stuff. Wow. And people might be thinking, oh, this is so gross. How could you do this? How could you not do this? How could you not find out what is within your body instead of being in a ignorant state of mind of thinking, oh yeah, it's all getting pushed out. It is not getting pushed out. Let me tell you, I thought I was healthy, relatively healthy. The juice fast showed me that I am anything but. And although I have maintained weight loss, so I started the juice fast in 2024 at 114.4 kilos, which is I think like 252 pounds. That's a huge weight for a 5'7" woman. And I am now, I've maintained the weight loss all through the year. I've gone up and down a couple of times, but not, just a couple of kilos. But now I am at my lowest recorded weight starting this juice fast at 103 kilos. So that's a weight loss of 11.4 kilos that I have maintained. I cannot believe I have maintained it because I am the yo-yo dieter. Like I always, well, actually, no, I haven't always been. It's been since I've been back in this country that I've gained so much weight, and it's been very hard to take off. But thankfully, this last year, I have maintained the weight loss, give or take a couple of kilos. But now I'm embarking on another juice fast, starting at winter, so I'm definitely going in with the challenge. Although, we have kind of mild winter here, and I'm starting at 103 kilos. So today is my first day. I don't feel good at all. I'm detoxing hard. It's all in the face. In fact, last night, by 8 o'clock at night, I was lying down watching a documentary, and like I was falling asleep at 8 o'clock, but the detox was kicking in. I was feeling it. So I went to bed, and I actually slept, pretty much through the whole night. I woke up a couple of times, but then woke up at, I think, about 20 past 6 in the morning. So that's a solid sleep for me. And that is indicative of my body starting this overhaul again. And, again, I'm sick of having niggly things happen. I actually had a scary thing happen to me on Saturday. So after a week of just eating fruit, I had a week of just eating fruit. I had a cooked meal of fish, rice, and sauteed eggplant and onion and some vegetables. And it was a big meal. It was a big meal. So I went from eating fruit and I had this meal. And of course I felt heavy, but 10 minutes or so after I had that meal, I had the weirdest, scariest thing happen. And I felt a flutter, like a really quick flutter in my chest. And I felt a jolt and I almost passed out. I don't know what you call that. If it's a heart thing, if it's a digestive thing, if it's a combination of both. But I seem to think that that weight of food somehow triggered the pressure, the blood pressure in my body. I don't know. I think my body was just so shocked by it that I've had heart flutter before, but never like that. Never at the point where I almost passed out and I'm sitting there and my head is spinning and I got up frightened, grabbing my car keys thinking, holy shit. And I went up and I had an ECG. Everything checked out again as normal. But it freaked me out. Absolutely freaked me out. I've never had something like that to the point of jolting, losing maybe for a split second consciousness, and absolutely dizzy. So to me, that indicates that whatever happened, there was a flutter, then obviously oxygen not being able to get to, the cells, the organs, and my body, because of a lack of oxygen, almost passed out. So I don't know what you call that, but it freaked me out. And it's had me kind of on edge the next day thinking, oh, is this going to happen again? But it only happened after I ate that meal. And I would say that weight and the heaviness and the amount of that food just shocked my body into, like, it's too much. It's too much. And I can't do those kinds of things after a week of just fruit. Man, it was awful. It was awful. So, I'm really, really wanting to stick on this raw food lifestyle. And here I am. I've just started a small chocolate truffle business. Good thing is, though, I don't have to eat the truffles. The only thing I do have to try is to sample the product when I'm making a new product, which is fine. Because I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I've just started this. How am I going to do this? I'm thinking, I don't have to eat the truffles. I do have to taste the truffles. I can spit it back out after, because I want to do this proper. I want to do this juice fast proper, so I can sample, taste the quality of the truffles and spit it out. That's not going to hurt me at all. Even if I wanted to have a truffle, it's not going to hurt me. But I want to do this juice fast 100%. So, like today, I've got to make a couple more variations of truffles, and I have to taste it. And even though I'm tasting a tiny amount, I'm going to spit that back out. Like, I am doing this juice fast, and I'm honoring it properly. I'm going to do 100%, 100%. So I will spit that truffle back out. Gosh, so yeah, that frightened me on Saturday. And then a week before that, I had this neuralgia thing where I had a shooting, I think it's called subarachnoid neuralgia, something like that. But I was going actually out to a local event to sell truffles. And as I was shutting the door, I felt a shooting, burning pain go right up the back of my neck into my head. It felt like a laser beam was going straight through my head. And I turned around, I thought, what? Oh, and I was bent over. I thought, that is awful. What was that? That stayed with me. Not that searing pain, because that went from a 0 to an 8. But the the pain went back down to a 3 or a 4 migraine for the rest of the night, and I was so sore and I did not want to be there. And in fact, that wasn't even that was the pre-night before the big night. I didn't even go to the big night of this event. And so from that experience, I went on to fruit. And so all these things, you know, all these niggly things, these are warnings and indications from my body saying, hey, what you're doing, I don't like. Come on, like, get it together. And, you know, I'm middle-aged. I don't want to be having these issues. So I'm doing the fruit thing again. What's always been hard for me doing a fruit juice fast is the social aspect. Nobody I know is living on fruit, doing raw foods, doing juicing. It can be extremely socially isolating. And then people are like saying to me, oh, well, that's dangerous. You can't survive on just juice. And I'm thinking, you don't even know what you're talking about. You've never done a juice fast. You've never even just eaten fruit alone for a week. So there are people telling me how dangerous it is. I'm thinking, dangerous? You tell me eating fruits is dangerous when you're consuming, you know, big heavy meats and bread and milk and pasta and all these heavy things, and, you know, you're telling me you're in perfect health? No. People are in shocking health. You know, people are barely surviving. People live on medications. It's so normal to be a sickly population. It's so normal for people to have cancer and have diabetes and have heart disease. It shouldn't be normal, but we have accepted it as normality. It should not be normal, but it's so hard for people to kick these cooked food habits, including me. It is hard, but I will say, since embarking on my first juice fast back in 2024, the cooked food addiction over me has lessened. So it's going to be interesting. I really want to see this juice fast out. I really do. I hope I do. But I'm certainly not going back to cook food. So I know for my own sake and my own health, I have got to see this through to at least 90 days. It is going to be hard, people of Earth. I don't know if I can do it, but I have prayed so hard last night to God to please help me do it and to sustain me and to fill me with the Holy Spirit and to nourish me when I feel weak, when I feel like I'm, you know, going into my cravings, like I'm caving into them, to just nourish my spirit so that I am satiated and I'm not, you know, going to be falling into the trap of going back into, you know, not seeing the juice fast out. I want to do a solid 90 days. At day 60 last year, it wasn't enough. I was still crapping out worms. And I actually think I was on the cusp. I had one of my last stools, I actually believe was mucoid plaque. And I believe that, you know, I was at the start of getting mucoid plaque out, and I stopped. I stopped. So I've got to dig deep. I really got to dig deep. And there was a girl, and there is a girl, a woman, I should say, living here, and she actually joined me with the juice fast in the summer. Was it late last year? I think I did like 21 days and she did like 14. And she felt amazing. She did not have many bowel movements, which was kind of concerning because I was having daily bowel movements and they were horrendous. But I don't actually think she was drinking enough juice. But anyway, I told her the other day, I said, I'm really feeling the need to get on juice. There is no other way of cleansing the body properly is a juice fast. It's the only way. It's the only way to restore vitality and health and rejuvenation in your body. It's the only way to heal. And I know that it's hard to do. It's, you know, it's hard, but it is exciting at the same time because there's nothing better, at least for me on the juice fast. I was excited to see, whoa, what's going to come out of me today? And it wasn't always, you know, easy. I had some weird things going on with my bowels, and I had pain. Some days I'd wake up, I'd have pain in one area. That always indicated to me that I was going to have some worm movements the next day. And lo and behold, the worms came out, and the smell is just, it's beyond anything you can imagine. It's like death. It really is. It's filth. And to know that that is in me, I don't want that in me. I want to get that out. So, oh Lord, give me the strength. Give me the strength to see this through. I hope so. Cheers to that. Cheers to day one of a juice fast. I'm just going to take it day by day. We'll see how we go. 103 kilos, day one. Let's do this.